Tonight, we're taking an in-depth look at a practice known as redlining right here in Buffalo. Now, historically, Buffalo has been one of the most 10 segregated cities in this country. This list is according to census data dating back to 1990, analyzed by the William H. Frye Brookings Institution and University of Michigan. The latest census data for 2020 has not been analyzed. But this segregation is due to more than just individual choices or people wanting to live near those who look alike. As I-Team Chief Investigator Charlie Specht and investigative producer Sean Mickey found, the roots go back more than 80 years, when the development of the city was quite literally mapped out and has left today's generation now working to bridge the divide.
Dr. Henry Louis Taylor Jr. of the University at Buffalo is blunt about the dangers facing Buffalonians living off Genesee Street on the city's east side.
These places, they kill people because they cause unnecessary disease, death, and dying.
But to Taylor and other experts, violence and decay are just symptoms of a larger problem. They say part of the cause is a systemic racism seen in these long-forgotten maps. Created during the Depression, they charted the course for the way Buffalo would develop over the next 80 years.
The federal government created these maps all around the country, these underwriting maps, and they said, here's where we'll underwrite mortgages and encourage them, and here's where we'll discourage them.
Sam McGavern of the nonprofit Partnership for the Public Good says the maps, created by the Federal Homeowners Loan Corporation, are one reason Buffalo remains a city divided by race. On the maps, which date to 1937, areas shaded in green, like this one on Delaware Avenue, were deemed by appraisers as best for mortgage lending because they contained many magnificent homes on large plotages, which are still being maintained by the leading families of Buffalo. But ethnic diversity was a drawback in the eyes of appraisers. The western part of Elmwood, on Ashland and Lafayette Avenues, was downgraded by one level to blue because mapmakers warned that there was a, quote, infiltration of mixed races beginning to take place.
That's why it looks the way it does. It wasn't an accident, and it wasn't just individuals making decisions, but there were government policies that segregated Buffalo just as it did all over the country.
But just across Main Street, the Cold Spring section was shaded red to signify a, quote, hazardous place for bankers to lend, in part because of what officials deemed the type of occupant, what they called the, quote, infiltration of Negro.
It was the institutionalization of white privilege.
All based, Taylor said, on the inherently racist attitudes of the time, backed up by no real evidence, which he characterized like this.
Blacks drive value down. Since black drive value down, the secret to creating white value is by isolating them from blacks.
In a country in which owning your own home is one of the most common ways to build equity, community leaders say the effects of such policies were devastating.
It impacts the ability to acquire wealth and the ability to transfer wealth, which is the American dream.
Pastor George Nicholas's Lincoln Memorial United Methodist Church sits at the corner of a redlined area on Main Street, which is still a dividing line today. U.S. Census data show that to the west of Main Street, a majority white area, the median household income is $51,000. But in a similar geographic area on the east side of Main Street, median household income is just $24,000 per year, where 85% of black Buffalonians call home.
There's almost been this acceptance of this as well. That's just the way Buffalo is.
The Urban Institute in 2018 said Buffalo had the third highest homeownership gap in the nation, with 73% of white people owning their own homes compared with just 29% of black people. And while it is no longer legal to deny mortgages based on race, leaders say the maps drawn decades ago still have a negative effect on the Queen City.
There's no stated policy. There's no sign that says black people can't live here. It's become part of the culture.
But at the end of the day, if we want to build a great city, we have to change this. And we have to change this in a way that enriches and benefits the lives of the people who live here.